Hi everyone. Hello. Let's try this again. How are you guys doing? Well, let's get this straightened out, shall we? Every time I try to touch it to shrink it down, it is moving to front faced view. That's strange to me. So, here we go. I think I got it. I hope you all are doing well. Are you guys excited for Halloween? Do you guys have our new Costume Cuties kit? Let's see who's here already. Oh, perfect. Hi, Beverly. Hello again, Beverly. Perfect. I'm so glad you guys are here. Listen, I am here tonight to share with you some more World Card Making Week events. So, well, another week, another event anyway. I'm going to share with you some costume cuties that I've made, and we're going to work with Foundation 25. And I'm also going to show you Foundation 28 and 29. Now, those did come out a little bit ago, maybe a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago. And they're fresh and phenomenal, I promise you. So we're going to go through quite a bit of things. I just want to make sure that people have joined us so that we could get started. I'm going to make my camera a little bit closer one more time to share with you what we've got going on here today. Okay, so what I'm going to talk with you tonight, we are going to make it with Marianne, Costume Cuties and New Foundations. So many of you know and have already participated in a lot of our events. You can find all of the information about our events on our Queen and Company royalty page. Be sure, if you're new here, that you answer all the questions to join. You can mention that you heard about it here on a live, or maybe you have a friend in the group or something like that. That'll help you get approved a little bit quicker. So you've been through 2 lives already with Ginger, and those were phenomenal. So I'm glad there's a day between us because she is absolutely amazing. So what we have remaining are my live tonight. Tomorrow, there's going to be an announcement, and I'm not privy to that announcement. So you guys are going to have to make sure you join us and be able to find out when I do. So, and on Saturday, all of the card challenges end. And there's a lot going on. There's so many things happening over at the Royalty Facebook page that you're going to want to join. You'll get a lot of cards done. You'll be able to be inspired, and just really have a good time with us over there. It's a lot of fun over there, I promise you. So that is what's happening this evening. What I am going to do with you is I'm going to go over the Costumes Cuties kit really quickly, because I know if you've watched one of our other videos, you know pretty much what comes in it. Many of you may already have it. But the kit does come with a patterned paper pad. Now, my pad is used and abused. Yours will look very beautiful. So I recommend, if you get a chance, that maybe you purchase 2, because this is all I have. I just have bits and pieces left of things. And I normally don't keep a lot of small scraps, but for this kit I did because I ran out rather quickly. Now you also get all of the dies to make 7 characters. Now I'm not 1,000% sure on how many dies is here. I think it's 44, 46, something like that. Anyway, you get all of these. You get hair pieces, different faces, different shirts and jackets, and there's 7 different characters that you can make. Along with the dies, you get the foam that match the shaker pieces. Down here are the shaker pieces, and you get 4 sheets, I think, 3 or 4 sheets of foam. You'll have to check the website. I apologize for not knowing the answer. And of course, I've used a whole sheet. I think you get 3 sheets. I've used a whole sheet, and I've used some on this. You also get the matching acetates that are the covers to your shakers so that all the topping bits stay inside. You get several different toppings. Look how cute these are. Bright, beautiful. You also get some black because Halloween is all about black. I love it. Black, orange, and I love when you put in the lime green and the purple. And you also get this adorable stamp set. It is a 4x6 stamp set. I know Ginger has gone over all of the sentiments with you already, so I just want to make sure you see what is available in the kit. So you get all of these pieces along with the Costume Cuties die guide. This tells you exactly what pieces you need to create the scientist or the professor, I think I heard somebody say, the witch, the pumpkin, and you just go across, you pull out all the dies that are appropriate for the vampire, and it's exactly what you need to put him together. So this is invaluable. So this is everything that comes in the kit, but you can purchase an additional solid 6x6 paper pad. This is pretty nice too. Again, mine is really abused, but the colors are gorgeous. Look how bright, and then the back side has a little bit different of a color. I love it. So they are two-sided. That's an additional purchase. And one purchase that I highly recommend is the outline dies. These are also invaluable. You take the Costume Cuties die guide and the outline dies, and your life will be so much easier. Now, these are like, they can make a background for you to put your foam on and then fill and cover. It can give you a resting point if you want to do flat cards and do non-shakers. Really invaluable, I promise. So I'm going to sit my stuff right back over here. I've kind of have it all organized so that we can get started on sharing new things. I am going to keep my die guide here because I might need that when I'm putting a couple of cards together. So here I have a book. I'm not sure I recommend this environment for your dies. It does get heavy. It's a thin, I think like a 3/4 inch book or maybe an inch book with, and I have magnetic sheets in here. And here is the die guide, or here is the sheet that I have for foundations number 28. And then for foundations 29. And I have them just stuck onto the magnetic sheets like I was trying to spit out a second ago. And with these dies, there's also a die guide and sketches for just those two. And it's really fantastic. So what I want to do tonight is just share with you a few cards that I've made using foundation 28 and 29. It's a pretty new set or a bundle, so you'll save a little bit on it. They have great shapes. I love all of these shapes. None of the dies that you'll see in these two or in 25, which you've seen this week, are a replica of anything else. They may be the same shape, but they're absolutely a different size. Nothing will be the same size. So I made a pumpkin with the Costume Cuties kit and foundation 28 and 29. I tried to stick with just 28 or with just 29. Sometimes I blended them together. They're really fantastic. So here is my pumpkin, whom I think is super adorable. And he shakes. I didn't overstuff him, but he doesn't have much room. And then I also made a ghost. See him? He's so cute too. I love him. Now I did fill him about halfway up. He's so cute. My mom always used to just take a sheet, throw on some white tights, and go around the neighborhood scaring us little kids. I clearly remember her doing that for years. It was so much fun. Probably one of the easiest costumes to make, and the spooky costume too, because you don't know who's under it. Now here is the zombie, and she is a girl, and instead of placing the brains that come with the kit, I just did a little tiny bow from a different kit. I thought it was kind of cute, and I also used her patches to kind of piece together the card, like the card is tattered as well. And again, all of these dies were from the foundation 28 and 29. I also made a spider, which is adorable, but I hate spiders. He's cute. I did bring in the web from the Halloween foundation set. You can see why my paper ran out. I've made so many cards and used so many layers. Now this is probably my favorite one. This is the Nutty Professor, or the, I want to say professor or mad scientist or whatever you will. I remember my science teacher in high school. His name was Mr. Silva. He has since passed, but I loved that class because he was a lot of fun. So I took a bunch of circles and I made it where the potion exploded all over the card. I just felt like this whole card needed circles. So here he is, and I did use the striped paper for his jacket instead of a solid white. I thought that was a little bit different. He's cute. And then if you know me at all, and if you've seen any of my videos or any of my cards, I like to do things in replication. So in rainbow order if I can. This is all of the solid colors, or one side of the solid colors in our solid paper pad. I just think this is adorable. Super easy. It is a little tricky to get it lined up, but I use the lines on my mat, and that's very helpful. So, but how cute is that? Just taking one little thing and replicating it in different colors, and you've got yourself a cute little card. So these cards are all made with foundation 28 and foundation 29. I just wanted to make sure you were able to see those because they were so super cute. It's the critters, it's the characters in the kit that are just so much fun. So what we're going to work with tonight, just the four of us. I hope there's more than 4 of you there. My dog and my cat, my dogs and my cat are in here with me. Maybe that's where I got the number. This right here is foundation 25. This is the newest of our foundations. Although 28 and 29 are super new, this is the newest one. And this can come as standalone dies if you want to, or it also comes with pouches like Ginger explained the other day. Now she did a live video explaining how to use the pouches. There are pouches for the larger shapes on this sheet. So you have the circle, you have the square, the rectangle, 1, 2, 3, and the diamond. Or I call this a diamond. She called it another shape. I'm not sure what that shape is because to me, it's a diamond. So when I saw it, everything I thought of was to make it into a diamond shape. So here are the covers for all of those, like the little pouches that you create to make little thinner than your regular shaker kit shaker cards. It's really super cute, but tonight I'm not going to use the pouches. I'm going to show you how you can just use the dies to create a whole bunch of beautiful things. But before I do that, I wanted to share with you, especially if you're new to us, you may have already seen these if you've been on the website or in my last live, but I wanted to show you how I used the pouches. I used the floral, a big flower from, what is that? Fancy Floral kit. And I used the square pouch, and all the rest are dies from this kit, or from this set right here. Here is my triangle, and then I just replicated the shape with pattern paper. Let me squish that back down. It looks like it was coming up. But I used the triangle pouch, and I cut fall colored papers so it would look like a fall card, and I just added a sentiment that I had from an older kit. And then this one is absolutely beautiful. The colors, I can't remember what paper pad I used, but I'm going to tell you it is just beautiful. And it is the circle, and I did put the circle through one of our backdrop dies to give it a little texture. I'm not sure if you can see that. There's a reflection, but it's so pretty. And then I use foundation 9, the flowers and the leaves, to give it like a half of a wreath or a third of a wreath. And everything else, of course, is from foundation 25. And here I use the full card front shaker. Look how much this shakes. Now it can be squished a little bit to go into an envelope, but I did add pretty dimensional bling on here. So this might be a card that would have to be hand delivered. But before I even started, I cut the card front like a A2 size piece of cardstock. I ran it through an embossing folder, and then if you see the bottom, I put half a sheet of paper on the bottom, and then I took I took this little die right here, and I ran it across the center so that you wouldn't see the seam, but it's still a full shaker, and you can see the patterned paper on the bottom when you shake it. Isn't it great? I love it. I love all the colors, and that's one of our oldest paper pads, I think. Maybe, is it Bring on Spring, or might be Bring on Spring. So those are the cards that I've made using Foundation 25 and the pouches. But tonight we're going to use Foundation 25 a little bit differently. Oop, this came with me. We're going to set that aside, and we're going to work with our Costume Cuties. So what I did when I was working with the kit originally, I made all of the people into shapes, all of the characters into shapes. So I made this super cute purple witch. Isn't she cute? You see her okay? And she shakes. I might have overstuffed her a little, but she's adorable. And I attempted Ginger's white paint eyeball trick. It worked, but not perfectly. But I want to show you how we're going to use Foundation 25. I've pre-cut all my papers so that you are not going to sit here all day with me. I tried to come up with a pattern that I thought would look good for a card without putting the card together. That was a trick, I'll tell you. So let me grab my squeaky chair so I can come a little closer, and I can share with you how I intend for this card to come together. Let me move my stuff up a little bit for you. Okay, I think we're close. I think you can see everything now. So I cut a large rectangle from the Foundation 25 set. I do like just a tape runner when it comes to adding just paper to paper. I know Ginger uses wet glue. I've used wet glue before too, but sometimes I like to pick things up a little later than she does. Oh, do you hear my chair? It's so squeaky. Sorry. It's an old vintage chair. I say it every time that I should replace it, and I never do. Okay. I believe I was going to put my black rectangle right up here. This is just cardstock that I had on hand. There is paper, black paper in the solid paper pad. If you wanted to get that out, you can do that too. So I think I decided to put my little girl, my little doll here, what paper dolls, isn't that what we used to do as kids? I think I'm going to put her here to the right side of this card. And so I decided to do the stamping ahead of time as well, and do Hey Boo over here. So what I'm going to do is, I know Ginger mentioned in her video how I didn't realize it until her video, how these are meant to go together. Now you can have this plain or this plain as well, but to layer them together just adds a great little trick. I just absolutely love it, and I did not know her little trick until I watched her videos. So we all learn from Ginger as well. So I just layered those together with some tape, and I'm going to place those on. Sorry, I was just seeing if there were any comments or anything like that. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. However, if you've watched my videos before too, you know I struggle with doing more than one thing at a time. So where did I want to put her? She's going to go right there, and I believe I put this for her to stand on. And again, I'm anchoring her because I've watched Ginger's video, and she anchors all of her people. But you know what? Some of my others are not even anchored. whoops, that is not what I wanted to do. I want to put my circle down first. But hopefully I'm quick enough and I don't ruin too much. Let's see where we want her to go, or the circle to go. I tried to get as many elements from the kit in here. Let's see if I can get this straight using the lines on my board. I think that is correct. And then I think I wanted to layer over this, just so everything comes across as though it's tucked in and layered. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but I like it. And then I did cut several of these, and as you'll see as the night goes on, I'm not sure if I'm going to use all of those little strips or not, but I'm going to give it a good go. If we use them, we do. I've cut extra eyeballs because isn't that the one thing that you lose all the time? So I'm going to cut, or I'm going to use my reverse tweezers. I'm going to add a thin layer of glue. And then I am going to place this down to create a seam here. Going over right on the top of that ledge for her to stand on. Now, why did I cut out another green and another black? And yeah, well, I guess she's not even standing on that anymore. She's going to go down a little bit so that she fits on there. I think I might have cut the purple one so that I can put it above the black one and add a little more color. I love the detail in this line. I will use this over and over and over again. I know I will. I think we'll put this one right up here just to create a little bit more of a line going across and a little more detail. And now we will add adhesive, or I used leftover adhesive from the inside of the, these look like lips backwards, don't they? Oh, that would be really cute for Valentine's Day. Don't forget that. I used the foam to lift up her head. I did put my girl together on top, her body on top of the skirt, kind of. Whereas I think Ginger put her level with the base of the skirt. Not 100% sure. But however your cards come together, they come together. How cute is that? Hey, boo. I think it's adorable. So now I just brought out some enamel that I thought would be cute. I got out some trios. Brought out some epoxy stars. I wanted to be able to add whatever I wanted sporadically around. And I'm trying to use different style bling for these cards tonight, just so that you can see something a little bit different. Because I typically use all the same ones, and I can't help it. I just love what I love. I know you girls do too. It's a lot of fun, though. You keep going back to the same type of a thing that you are comfortable with, you know? So I'm going to just do threes, and I think I'm going to do these little tiny stars up and below, and then a kind of below on this one. Now, I'm not liking the top. Oh, maybe I want some of these too. These are always fun. So let's just make a little detail around the edge of the circle. I do this quite often. If you just do threes, you can, I feel like my circle is a little plain, so I'm going to do 3 there. And I think that just adds a little bit to it. She's not overly complicated. She's cute. She's got a great skirt on. Fantastic fashion sense. So there's my first card, and I'm going to keep this out because I may use this on a different card. Okay, so there's my first card that we have done using Costume Cuties and Foundation 25 only. So here's my next card. Again, I had already made my Count Dracula or vampire, whatever you may want to call him. I'm also using a black card base for him. I don't use black a whole lot. 90% of my cards, I do a white card base. Now, there's a couple options here. I wasn't sure if I wanted the gray circle or if I wanted the gray sorry, the gray diamond. So I just wasn't sure. And look, I cut more of these lines. These lines are fantastic. I don't even know what you want to call them. Like little strips. They're super cute. So for this background, I wanted to use this die right here from the Foundation 25. And I saw a card where Ginger used this same thing and lined up her long skinny rectangles across the card like so. So I'm going to see how this is going to line up. Of course I did it before, but will it line up perfectly for you tonight? That is a very good question. I think it might. I think it might. Let's see. No, I don't want that. I want that up there. Okay, and I'm going to try to give it an even border, straight border, and then I'm going to use the purple. All of this paper is from the Costume Cuties kit. You can purchase extra paper from the same kit if you'd like. Additional paper, you can purchase additional foam, which I highly recommend. Okay, so this guy, I decided to put down right here, I believe. Let's hope that this is correct. And I, again, put this down here. Where did I put it? Let's see what I wanted to do here. Now, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do a circle behind him or if I wanted to do a sideways diamond behind him. It kind of looks like the collar of his shirt with the diamond, don't you think? You know what? I did something wrong. I'm glad I didn't push very hard. That's not how I intended this. How I intended for this card to come out would be to use this square as a triangle itself. Now let's see if we like that. I'm going to try to line it up with the lines on my board. That's the best way I can tell you to do it. If not, I don't know how you can get this guy straight. So, okay, I think that looks pretty good. And using tape runner, if you don't push too hard, you get a little bit of play with that. Now, this does not match this when you turn the square sideways, but I still liked it. So I wasn't sure. Kind of looks, again, like his collar. I should look at the comments. Let me see if I can see. Oh, Heidi, I am completely, am I saying triangle? I don't know what I'm saying. I mean diamond. Did I say triangle this whole night? I don't know. I got to go back to kindergarten. I like the circle too, though. Kind of like an aura around him, his creepiness. I think I'm going to do the circle. What did you guys think? You guys like the diamond? Oh, boy. Okay, I'm seeing, oh, circle. Last person said circle. That's Joanne. So I'm going to listen to Joanne. And I knew I was going to run out of tape runner. So I have another one sitting out for me just because I knew it. It's always what happens during a live. You run out of adhesive, you run out of tape, all those things. All right, quickly put it back together. Did a little surgery. Now I'm going to pull this a little closer so I can see where I want to put my circle. Okay, there we go. Now, I haven't used foam at all tonight. Have you noticed? I'm trying to make my cards a little flatter for a minute. I mean, I'm not going to stick to that. I promise. Oh, I like that. Kind of like a little... Oh, that's cute. Okay. Now, I already stamped the bottom of this with my intention of him kind of standing on it. So I'm going to have to raise him up some. Let's see. I can bring it down some. If I did this, I think that would work. He would still be standing on it, and you can see the sentiment. Oh, I had adhesive on there. Okay, so my next thing, I know these are sticking off the side. We're going to trim those off before we get too far along. So I want to take, again, I cut the same colors. I don't think I planned to do that, friends. I think I'm not sure how that happened, but I did want to put one right here above this, covering the seam. Hold on to it for just a second. And I want to do a purple. All right, let's see. Just put some thin line of adhesive because I don't want anything squirting out. This does dry. Oh, I held on to it wrong. This does dry clear. I won't see it, but I still want to make sure that I don't put too much glue on there. I just don't want it to spill over. Okay, so there we go. Just getting off all the adhesive that I see. I am going to turn my card over, and you'll see the little pieces of the square that's sticking over. So I'm going to take my scissors, or you can put it in your paper trimmer if you want, and just carefully snip along that side there, and then carefully snip right up against it on the top there. Okay, now both of those are trash. Just a little something different to do with the square, or my cards would have been very similar. And then I'm going to add now this one, I put his head behind the shaker. Do you see that? But this one, I put her equal with the top of the shaker. So I think it depends on what you like. I like it all. I did both. Obviously, I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way. I just think that you can do whatever you like. All right, let's see if we can't line him back up with the lines on my board before I press him down. And I think I got it. Let me cover my adhesive real quick, and we'll add some bling to him. Isn't he cute? So I'd already had him prepped, already had him ready, and all we had to do was layer some base papers. Because of this, it makes it super easy. And then I'm going to add some bling. Again, I think I deserve a sticker. I feel as though I really went out. I'm going outside of my comfort zone with some bling here. I'm going to add 3 groupings, just like that, of lollies. And lollies are a classic. They're such a good anchor for like a clumping of bling. I really love them. So I'm going to add some purple. Not sure really where I want to put. I'm not pushing too hard in case I change my mind, because that is something that often happens. I don't recommend that you push too hard either, just in case you want to figure out maybe what you like or what you don't like. Oh, look, all of them ended up being in the same direction. I don't know how that happens, because I really intend to do it a little differently. And then I'm going to add some of these. I think these are icicles. Ice. Whoops. And sometimes the glue comes off a little. Okay. There we go. What do you think of him? He's cute too. So do I keep this black strip here in case I use it on another card? I think I do. So there we go. We have 2 cards. Let me bring this down so that you can see those so far. These are 2 cards that, because I had the shakers pre-made, all we did was build a card background right now with foundation number 25. So everything that is on here for card backgrounds is from 25. Don't you love it? I love it. They can be a lot of fun. You can layer other circles to make it smaller. I just wanted you to have, excuse me, I just wanted you to have one way, one style of foundations. If you're new to us, it shows you how easy it is to make these cards with a foundation set. We have, oh my goodness, what are we on? 29? We have 29 different sets. Some of the beginning sets are my absolute favorites, but if you've got to start somewhere and you're new, I recommend you start with the brand new 25. There, I think I like that a little better. Now let's move these over a hair. Again, I'm always maneuvering things that I've stuck down. Thank God this doesn't really rip the paper. I didn't like not having something here and everything was all up top. There, I like that. Okay, so we've got another card to make. And if you have watched any of my videos before, I think you're really going to like this one. I'm going to move some of this other stuff out of the way. So this one, as you saw, I was running out of paper. So I did dig into my stash and I brought out Spooktacular. This paper pad came with a Spooktacular kit, and this was the add-on that matches this. So I am using Spooktacular. I just wanted you to know where all of that came from, because I don't want you to be questioning where things come from. So, oh, look, I'm going to use some foundation dyes. Now we're going to start this card from the beginning to the end, and I hope that you like it. And if you've seen any of my cards in the past, I am very, very much an orange and pink kind of gal. So we're going to use orange and pink. Now I brought in circles. Wow, this card is going to be a lot more detailed than the last card, but everything is pre-cut, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Let me bring this down a little closer. I guess we don't need the paper pad since you've already seen it. I want you to see what I've picked for dies. So I chose this large rectangle, and I am going to use my tape runner. Whoops. And I saw Ginger put a card together backwards the other day, and I'd like to tell her she's the only one, but I have done it so many times. And I'll go to grab it, to sign it, or give it to somebody, and I've got to cut the front off and put it on a new card base. What a mess, huh? Now this triangle, I just lied to you. This is not this triangle. I dug this out of my stash, and the triangle from the 25 set layers perfectly on it. So I cut another triangle out of orange. I wanted a thin border of the green. I didn't want a whole lot of green, but I wanted to do some of her clothing in green. And oh, wait till you see her. She's so cute. She's adorable. I just love pink and orange together. I can't help it. And for this card, I threw in some green. Okay, so I don't know why, but all of these cards that I've made so far with you tonight, I'm putting the square or the circle right up to the top. And I don't mean to do that, but I'm going to set this aside just for a minute, because we're going to make our person. We're going to make our witch. And I'm using a little dish that I have that is very similar to what sushi would come in. Sushi, what is it that I'm trying to say? The soy sauce and wasabi would come in. Look, guys, we're going to do green hair. So we're going to start kind of from the top down like Ginger did. When I first got my kit, I really wasn't sure which way to put her together, or to put any of the kits together, or the characters. But I found, after playing with it so much and watching her, that you want to put them together. Easiest way is from the top down. That's what I found. So I'm going to put the little buckle on the hat with a little tiny doppel of glue. A little tiny drop, and I'm going to set that right here. So now I've got all of my colors on my hat. How cute is she? So I went rogue, and I am going to do green hair. So I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of my head, place that right on the hair. I think there's a lot that you can do as far as dimension, placing it, or whatever. You can make her hair longer, I think, a little shorter if you want. So I'm going to make her hair. I didn't bring it all the way to the top because I felt like, this one I want all the way to the top though. I felt like I wanted it to be a little bit longer towards the sides. How cute is that? Now, if I want to, I can place her hat on. I can put it crooked. I can do whatever, but I'm going to decorate her face first. And I did cut out extra eyes, like I said, because I feel as though if you're going to lose anything, you're going to lose an eye, right? So I've decided to use, oh, where did it go? Oh, you can't see it. I don't want you to see it yet. So I'm going to, well, I got to show you because I got to know where I'm going to put her eyes. I decided that she got a hold of the mad scientist's glasses. So I'm going to put glasses on her. How cute is that? Don't you think that's adorable? And so then I want to make sure her eyes are in the right place. So people, these glasses need to stay out as a staple. They need to be on your woodland critters. How cute would those be all dressed up? Oh my God. It's kind of like paper dolls. You can put them on anything. And I'm going to make her have these big old pink mad scientist glasses. And I'm just holding that down for just a second. Now, if I want, do I want her hair above the glasses instead of under? Ooh, I could lift. Let's just look real quick. Oh, yes. How cool is she with her glasses just underneath her brushed hair? Her hair's just, oh, that's super cute. I love it. Okay, now we're going to do the eyes, and I'm hoping I can tuck this eye up in there too. Let's see. Let's see if I can do that. Oh, I did. Right in. Perfect. And then the next eye. So while I'm waiting just a second, I am going to, well, I guess I really don't have to. I'm afraid I'm going to do that at the end. We're going to give her eyeballs at the end because I don't want to smudge her by accident. So now I'm going to start with her shirt, and I'm just going to add some adhesive right here on her, what do you call the upper part of her body? The bodice, right? And I'm going to dress her with her shirt. Again, I want to make sure that I'm not going off crooked with her, so I'm kind of lining it up with the lines on my board, but that doesn't mean that I don't have her tilted, honestly. Okay, so does she want to smile? Do we want like a little half smile on her, or a full smile? We could do that. Now there are a couple of different sets of eyes in this kit. You could do great big eyelashes. You could do these little bigger black eyes. You can do little tiny eyes. I'm gonna have her kind of smirking off to the left a little, because I want to put her hat to the right a little, I think. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, so let's do her shaker. I've cut out a piece from the orange paper from the outline dies. So I did use the outline dies. I was lucky to have that. So I peel off the outer edge, and then I just line up and kiss the paper right to the foam to create the shaker. I think I got that on there pretty straight. Now I do this just, I don't know why. I feel like I'm like half like butchering it doing that, but it still works. And then I am going to use some powder for stickiness. Get rid of some of the static. And this is the concoction that I made. Now the green circles are from the kit, and I did add some orange and pink from my stash. Now I think the pink are hearts. I'm not sure if you can see that. I really hope you can. Super cute. So I'm going to fill this however much I want, and that is not what I want. I always think that my space is so much bigger than it is. I'm an overstuffer. We've talked about this before. I want to get some of those orange balls out, so I'm going to pull some of those back out, and then I can just easily pull the orange balls and put them back with the kit. But I do want a couple more of the green. I just want that green to be a little bit highlighted. So I'm going to put that back right over there. Look how cute. I just love the color combo. I used my sticky note to make sure I didn't lose my acetate. So I am going to carefully, now you guys can carefully hang on to your foam piece, but I don't want mine to jump, and I get, with my left hand, I get all sticky, and I stick it to stuff, and then it's a nightmare and a disaster because it's much bigger than a finger. So I use something else to help kind of hold that in there for me. Uh-oh, these green things are moving. All right, and then you just put it down and stick it straight on there. Now, I do have this crooked, and now would be the time that you would want to fix that. So it's a little crooked, but it's sealed. So I'm just going to trim off the extra plastic that is hanging over towards the top, because not often can you get that on there 100% perfect. So just get it off before you keep moving on. And then now you put your little topping on the shaker. We can call this her little, this is her little skirt. And I wanted to put this down before I moved on to the skirt. So let's see if I can get that without making too much of a mess. I did it. Whoops, no, I didn't. I did, and then it moved on me. Let's see. Let's try to get this back on there. Nothing like trying to do something with a whole bunch of wet glue. And then I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive there. Bring it back together and put it right on the skirt. So now it's like you're dressing. Like we've been dressing things for so long with these shakers. Now we're just actually calling it clothing, right? Okay, so now I want to take her arms. I want to put her arms in while that dries a little bit. I want to, do I have two left? Oh no, this one's backwards. Sorry. So I want to put a little bit of adhesive on the top because I'm going to bring her and her shirt down to be right about there. I want her arms a little bit shorter so they're at her waist level. And now this one, I'm just going to, it doesn't matter how long her arms are or how short, as long as you match them. Right? So there we go. She's matched up now. And I'm just going to hold that together to try to fix her a little bit. How cute is that? Okay, now I'm going to, this little piece is meant to be stockings, maybe leggings, and I want her feet to show. So I am going to, because these shoes are the cutest thing in the world, so I'm going to add a little adhesive at the bottom of each leg, and then I'm going to add the shoe so you kind of see tights sticking out from the bottom of the skirt. I love it. I love it. Now I'm only going to put adhesive, whoops, and I told you I was building from the top down, but I've gotten ahead of myself. I haven't even finished her head, and I've moved on to her feet. Why is that moving so much? Too much glue. It keeps shifting on me. It's still pretty wet. All right, let me just let that dry for a second. Okay, now I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive up underneath, or up on the top of the tights, and then I'm going to put her skirt down. And that shows a little bit of tights and her super cute shoes. Isn't that adorable? I love it. Now we can add a little bit of adhesive to her body and add the skirt. Okay, her arms are a little too long. Wonder if it's too late. Nope, I'm peeling them right off, and I'm grabbing them and going so I don't ruin the top papers. If her arms are a little bit ruined, that's not a big deal because I can fix those and put them right back together. I didn't want the clothing to be ruined, her outside of her body, you know, the upper body. Let's put this right. Okay, where do I want the arms? This one's a little tricky. I'm going to go a little bit shorter. There. Now I'm going to match the other one. And I'm going to put that arm back together. So it's just trial and error. Try to figure out what you're doing. Sometimes wet adhesive is forgiving. Sometimes it's not. So there, I'm hoping that's high enough. If not, we're going to let it be. Oh, well, her hands are a little bit behind her skirt. Let's see. Okay, and I do have some adhesive that I want to get off, so I'm going to scrape that. Look how cute she is. I love it with the touch of green. What do you think? The touch of green is fabulous. Now we could bring her hands to the front. Why is she not sticking to the back? What is happening here? Let's see. Maybe I don't have enough adhesive. I thought I did, but we're going to put her right there. And I keep moving it and not letting it rest. So I need to let this one rest. Okay, I got to let it sit for a sec. So while I'm waiting, I am going to put her hat on her head. So we're going to put just a little adhesive on the hat. And we're going to put, we're going to put a hat kind of tilted a little to the right. What do you think of her? Isn't she adorable? Oh my God, you guys, you know I love pink and orange. This is just So cute. When Ginger was doing her live the other day, we talked about doing a pink one, and I think Linda challenged me to do a pink witch, and so did Ginger. She said she's going to leave that to me. So here it is. I think she's so cute. So I did pull. Oh, this is definitely going to the top. But we're going back to the card base. So, whoops. So I did cut the square from the Foundation 25, but then I ran it through our background or our backdrop dies and put a swirl on there. I felt like, witches cast spells and the swirliness would be really appropriate. So that's why I did that one. But as a matter of fact, I've used this one a lot lately, and I don't know why I am so drawn to it lately. So I did pull this hot pink paper from a Christmas kit. I think I wanted something a little bit brighter and that didn't match her dress, or I can match it exactly to her dress. I don't think so. I think I need the hot pink because her shoes won't show if I don't have the hot pink. What do you think? I think it's got to be hot pink. So I'm going to put the hot pink at the bottom. And look, there's Christmas words on the back. So whatever works, wherever you have to get your paper from, any of our kits, do it, because they all just look great together, or they can look great together. And look how cute this is. And I believe I was putting her off to the side because I was going to do some circles here. So we're going to, oh, yes, because here is her sentiment. This is the die I used from Foundation 25. I cut it with white paper, and I stamped So Cute It's Scary with a limey green. And I'm going to place her where I think I want her. And then I'm going to put in my sentiment. I thought this looked super cute. Down below, you're not seeing the whole thing, but you're seeing some of it. I liked it. And then she's standing on part of it as well. I think she's cute. So we're going to add some wet adhesive. We're going to get her moving. We're going to make sure her hat stays on, her body, and her skirt. And a little bit behind her shoes. I don't want any of her coming off. So now that I have my sentiment down, I know where I want her to be. And I'm hoping she's straight. Let's see. Is she straight? Oh, I love her. I absolutely love her. I'm so glad you guys have stuck this out with me. Oh, look how cute. I love it. Okay, so then I cut a whole bunch of circles because I didn't know which colors I wanted, which sizes I wanted. I just wanted circles. Now, these circles are from a different foundation set, but bring them in here and they just look adorable. All right, we're going to put one down here because she needs a little bit of color. Absolutely. Let's put these two together just like that. I'm not sure if I'm on camera right here, but I promise I will be right back on. Now, I got to make sure my houndstooth is in the right direction. And am I correct with what I think is the right direction? That is a question. Now, that orange paper has a houndstooth design to it. And I think this needs to overlap just a little bit more. Anything with the pattern, I try to get it to go in the direction that it's supposed to go, but I'm not sure what direction houndstooth is supposed to be. So all I did was add circles, totally giving it a little bit more of a fun vibe. I think I just want a smaller pink because we've got a lot of pink. And then I will do, oh, I used my orange. Shoot, we can't do that. Okay, so, I think, yeah, I still want that. I still want the green. And then I'll do a medium pink. Or how about a medium orange and a small pink? There, that's what we'll do. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so let's put the green down. How do you like how we try to work these things out? We don't know sometimes. All right, let's see if I put this in the proper direction. There we go. And then we'll put the pink. And have you noticed, again, for this card, I have not used foam tape, but it's sitting right there. I really wanted to. There. How cute is that? Because I wasn't sure what colors and how it would work out, I cut extras. But then I wasn't done. I wanted to, okay, maybe I'm going to use foam tape now that I've mentioned it. So I wanted to add some flowers. So I'm going to cut myself a small piece of foam tape. I am going to cut a thin strip, and then I'm going to cut little tiny pieces for these flowers. I'm going to turn them all backwards. And I'm going to try to put these on my card too, because I just think she deserves some flowers because she's so cute. And so I'm going to put a piece of foam behind each flower, and that will give it a little dimension. She's dimensional, so this isn't going to harm the card. This is a lot thinner than the foam tape we need for shakers, because you need to be able to have it a little thicker for the toppings, and this is not nearly half the size. Well, it's probably a third of the depth of the foam shaker. So I just need one more tiny little piece of foam. The piece I had was a little too small. There we go. There. All right, we'll set that aside. Can't throw that away. I own stock in that, I promise. Okay, so where do we want... Oh, we definitely need a flower on the pink. We need a flower down here on the orange. And then I just thought I would place these... Where does she need a flower? Does she need one on her skirt? Yes, she does. Now there, maybe I should have done that one flat, because now it's on top of the foam. Oh, look how cute this is. I love these flowers. Now these little baby flowers, oh, I'm pushing everything all over, come from the flower foundation. So if you need an embellishment type of a kit, there's a Halloween kit. If you're interested in making Halloween cards, there's a Halloween foundation set. But if you're just looking for something that can last you all year long, I highly recommend the flower foundation. I use it all the time. So I'm going to put green on the... These are the trios that I absolutely love. I've used too many, and I've already said that I need to add it to my wish list, because I really, really do. I don't want to have any of the same color on the flower, or on the... as a gem on the center of the flower. What I mean is I don't want to have a pink gem on the pink flower. I want them all to be mismatched. And then I think I need to do green here, because there's no green there. That's orange and pink for her skirt. That'll pop. And then I think I need a pink one down here, because there's no pink of a circle. Look! Oh, she's cute! Look how adorable she is. Could you get a better color than that combo? I love it. Absolutely love it. Does she shake? She does, because I pulled a bunch out. Look how cute. I love it. You know, one more thing that you could do before you push the hair down, you could raise the top hair up, and then that would have the hat up too, so it would get a little more dimension. Instead of having such a flat body, you could have a little bit of dimension, but I would use this type of foam tape, not the foam from the shaker, because then that would be like super duper thick. Okay, how cute is she? I love it. So if you know me, like we've discussed already, you know that I love to do things in repetition, like we talked about earlier. And this one is a repetition type of a card. So I just thought, super simple, super easy card. We're going to throw it together. Oh, you know how Ginger has all those fancy containers for her scraps? This is an iPad mini box that I've had for 5 to 7 years. I had it in my drawer, and I'm like, that would be absolutely perfect. So we're going to use that tonight for all of these like scraps. So, okay, again, I cut another large rectangle. I'm going to place this down on the center of the card. I'm trying to, this one is really quick, super easy. We're just going to keep on trucking. I'm going to add the long rectangle, long skinny rectangle. I've already stamped it with Mad Scientist, Apothecary, Pick Your Poison. And I'm adding that to the bottom. And I think I put it fairly far down. Give it a little bit of a border, but still keep it pretty close to the bottom. And then I believe I put purple across it because I wanted to bring in a little bit of purple because there's so much color in that paper. And I'm only using blue, orange, and yellow. I wanted to bring in a different color to line my rectangle. So they're the exact same size, or length, if you will. And if you turned them both, obviously, if it was a horizontal card or vertical card, it would go right here. But I'm placing it down in the center. That works for me. Okay, so we're going to make 3 poison jars, poison bottles. But I am only going to put the blue one as a shaker, and that one's going to be in the center. So there, we're going to keep that apart, So I could use my bottles just like this, but I think they're a little plain. I like the detail of the stitching, so I cut it out of the same exact paper, and I am going to place it right down on the center of, or right on the, right on the outside edge of the, what would be the shaker, but it's just going to give some detail to our bottle. Little bit of detail, texture maybe. So now we have our orange bottle put together. Now let's put our yellow one together. Super simple card. This one is easy because I've pre-cut it, obviously, but I just love repetition. And the one card I had with all of the pumpkins lined up, that's my favorite. I just love things like that. Okay, so we are going to we're going to shake the blue one. So I'm just going to peel off the back. I was going to do another character, but I know Ginger did a lot of characters the other day, and I wanted to show you what else you could do besides just the characters, just show you something a little different. And we're going to do the poison bottles. It's the shaker that matches the mad scientist, so why not? Okay, so I've obviously made too much of this concoction. Oh, I love that I'm calling it a concoction, like it's poison. So I brought in my own yellow, my own stash of orange again, and I want to put in some more blue. There's plenty of black in there. I'm going to bring in a little tiny bit more of the blue circles that are with the kit. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I want that too. This one's not really going to shake much or be seen because it's going to have the skeleton over the top. So here's my acetate, again with a sticky note, and I reuse those. I do. They don't lose their stick. You can keep using them instead of wasting them for each one. Or if you don't have the queen stickers, sticky notes, you can always just use regular old sticky notes. Okay, now I'm going to touch the acetate, goes at the front cover to seal the shaker bits. So now everything's stuck together and nothing will fall out. And I'm going to put my exact same color blue on top of the blue bottle. Here we go. I love these reverse tweezers. All right, and I am just going to hold it. I forgot to bring my little paperweight things that my friend made me. Okay, let me put this back together just for a second. All right, now they're going to go something like this on the card. So I want to add the skulls because I want you to know that every one of these bottles is poison. So I'm going to add just a little bit of adhesive all around and place the skull on top of the bottle. And it does hide some of the shaker, but if you look close, you'll be able to see that it still does shake and it still does show. So I'm going to put this one right here. Let me lift this for you so you can see. See, it does shake and you can still see the stuff inside. So I'm going to now do the yellow skull with just a little bit of adhesive everywhere. I just want to make sure that I've got all these skulls on there evenly because I don't want, yeah, those look pretty good. Actually, this one's a lot lower, or maybe this one's higher. Let's push this one down. Okay, there we go. I think it's fine. It'll work. So now I'm going to get my card base and I'm going to put my blue in the center, and that is going to dictate where I'm going to put my other two bottles. Now, will they all fit on the gray piece that I have here? I'm not sure, but it will fit within the card. So let's line this up with the board that I'm going to use the lines, and then I know my blue one is going to be right there in the center. And I am going to use wet glue for this. I could use a tape runner, but I don't like to have to push on the shaker to get it to stick down. I want the wet glue to do the job itself. Now you're not seeing a lot of that purple band that I put there, but you can see it in between a little bit. And it'll go almost all the way out to the edge. I'm going to have to stand up and look over this to see if it's straight. Now, as much as I like to sit when I craft, I cannot tell if it's straight. Uh-oh, that doesn't look straight. Uh-oh, he's a little off. And he's stuck. The blue one is a little off and stuck already. So we'll just make it work. Yeah, the orange one is too close to the blue. But that's okay, because other than us, who's really going to notice? I don't think you and I will. But I don't think other people will, but we notice. Okay, so then I brought out all these epoxy dots that I have. I've got a bunch of different sizes. I wasn't sure what sizes I want, but I am going to make a whole bunch of spilling bubbles coming out of all of these. And I've got quite a few. You can't really see the yellow on that, but if you were to see it up close, it's super cute. So I want some medium, whoops, it stuck to my fingernail. I want some of the smaller sizes, and then those really small sizes. So I'm going to open up this one. I should just put them all together. Maybe I need somebody to come here and organize my stuff for me. Who wants to come over? Whoops, come here. Okay, so I am just going to insert some of the smaller ones to have some small bubbles, which I'm going to put right on the top edge. I think it's cute. It's coming along cutely. Cutely, is that a word? Cute. It's coming along cute. All right, so that one is spilling out. Those are the yellow bubbles. Do I want more? I'm not sure. And here's my orange. This is all I have for orange. So let's spill some of the orange out all over the place. It doesn't matter on this type of a card whether I've got the dark orange or the light orange dots. You're not going to see the difference because it's just not, being on such a dark background, you're not really going to see that. So I'm going to put some of these small ones here. It just looks like a mess in the potion room. Looks like the mad scientist made a mess before he left for the day. Maybe he's married to my pink witch. She is wearing his glasses. That one flung on the floor. I bent it so they went everywhere. Did not mean to do that. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's add a few more small ones because we don't have very many medium ones. And that's okay. Let's put that one there. That's cute too. Okay, set that aside. And we're going to go with some blue. Now this, come here. What do we have here? Oh my gosh, that flung across the room too. I found it quickly and it works. Okay, so I'm going to put some of, oh, you can see the blue a little bit better on here. Oh, I love it. We're just making a mess with the potion. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason where you put things. Just making a mess. We got potion oozing out everywhere. Wow. I love it. I do. I can't help it. I love it. I love bling. I thought I might use some purple, but you really don't see the purple. Do we want some bubbles down on the bottom now? Maybe we need some blue. Oh, see, I can't really use much blue because let's see. Let's see if this works. If it doesn't, we'll just pretend it does. Let's see. All right, so we have some blue bubbles all down here on the ground, on our platform here. I do like it. I don't dislike it. I like it. I thought it would be, I didn't think we would be able to do the blue, but we can. Now I'll go back and I'll do some more orange. Maybe I'll do a big old bubble of orange because we have it. And then a couple of small oranges. Okay, maybe I'm going to need some of this too. I'm using them all up. We've got orange, and then we have plenty of yellow, but I don't want to use all yellow. I can't use yellow everywhere else. All right, let's put this yellow here and here. Let's make a mess with the yellow. So we've got bubbles all over the platform down there in yellow, and I'm just sticking to the vibe of the color that is oozing out of the, oops, I can't pick this up, oozing out of the bottles is now down on the floor. So I like it. We have 5, 4, and 3. Oh, well, anyway, I really think it's cute, and I hope you do too. What do you think? Can you see the balls and the bubbles? Looks like potion. Isn't that cute? I hope you like it. I do. So here are the 4 cards we made tonight. All of them using Foundation 25 only in our new Costume Cuties kit. How cute is that? Now you guys can go to our website for lots of inspiration. We also have a Pinterest page. We are on Instagram where you can find a lot of these cards as well. Oh, and we never made eyeballs for our girl. So let's quickly just, I don't want to spill my white ink or my white paint. So I'm doing what Ginger did, and I've got a small stylus, the smallest one that I've got, and I'm going to make a little tiny circle. Look at how cute and easy that is. And now she's got eyes, and now she can see through those beautiful glasses of hers. I love it. I'm so glad that you guys have joined me. I've had such a fun time. Need someone to clean up my mess because I have a big one. And I will see you again soon. Head over to the Royalty Facebook page. It's Queen and Company Royalty. And find out all about our specials, the contests that are going on. I know there are several. Ginger's really worked hard on putting this together. I know Wendy is getting the orders out as quick as she can. And we really appreciate you being here. And we can't wait to see what you make with this Costume Cuties kit as well. And be sure to let us know what foundation dyes you use too. We'll see you next time.